Hi, I'm Jess. I'm a fitness instructor and content creator sharing my love of athleisure wear, body-inclusive fitness, and New York City. And this is Jess McKay Live, the podcast where I answer your questions about life, Lululemon, and love. Self-love. Let's get into it. Welcome to episode 8 of Jess McKay Live. This episode is coming to you after a week break because I took the week off for my birthday, or the second week of August off for my birthday. We were visiting our parents at home. Did you have a great trip, Brian?
I did. It was a very good trip. And the main thing for me was that I got to work on my tan out on the golf course. So now I have a really solid golfer's tan. So nice. That's great. Now my summer feels complete.
I love that. I, in turn, do not suntan. I just turn into a lobster. So I've been trying really hard this year. I guess if you could say it's a New Year's resolution, a summer resolution to try and be better about sunscreen. But I definitely slipped up a couple times. I didn't think the sun was so hot. I thought I was just filming one video. And then we were outside soaking pee pads in water. And I definitely got in a line tank tan. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, pee pads, Ryan and I run a TikTok for a dog brand. So we were running some science experiments in the backyard of his parents' house. But all of that is to say, we had a great trip. Summer has blown by. I can't believe it. It's already halfway through August. Like, how did we get here? I don't know.
Well, one thing was we were really looking forward to you going to the Chargeville shoe launch.
Yes, at the end of July.
Weeks leading up to that. And then right after that, my parents came to visit. So that was kind of bridging the end of July to August. And then we've been away for a week. So we have had a full summer. And I think because it's been so full and so fun, it has flown by.
Absolutely. We also saw Jason Mraz in concert on a rooftop. Good. Pier 17. That was so cool. Jason Mraz is one of Ryan's favorite artists of all time. So that was very special for Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great for me too, but it was a lot of his, if they were his original sort of well-known hits, they were done in like a different style. So it was fun, but it was definitely something for great Jason Mraz fans.
Which it felt like that whole audience was.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I guess we can start diving into the topic for today.
Yeah, you're going to be leading the ship. So in other episodes, I have had like a list of questions that I was going to ask Jess, but she's been a research fiend for this one.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been trying to organize this because this is a video that I have wanted to do for a really long time. So I thought, why not talk about this topic on our podcast? Because this is a video podcast. So if you want to see this visually, of course, we're here on YouTube. But if you're listening on Spotify, I appreciate you too. Thank you for being here. But today's topic is about Lululemon on TikTok and how to get into Lululemon. So recently, this is a part of the update, I guess, life update. Recently, Lululemon has been featured in the press, and I have been featured in the press related to it. So there was a Vice article about how people are collecting Lululemon tags, kind of like trading cards, on TikTok, and how there's sort of this Lululemon TikTok phenomenon. And then I also got featured in a news segment on CHCH News. If you are a Ontario or GTA local, you may know the CHCH News network. So I got a little segment on that, and they called me a TikTok sensation. So that was pretty fun. And there I was speaking about Lululemon on TikTok as well. Because if you're listening to this, you probably are familiar and you're probably obsessed with Lululemon, but you might be coming to this podcast, you might be coming to this channel, and you're new to Lululemon and you're curious. So I wanted to do a whole episode about what on earth is Lululemon? Why do people care so much? Why are people talking about Lululemon on TikTok? Why is Lululemon going viral on TikTok? And if you're not scared off, how do you get into it? And how do you join this fun community that we have surrounding us? So before we get into that topic, Lululemon Spotlight. So this is a segment that I have now carried on to my TikTok channel. I am attempting to do a Lululemon spotlight of every item on Lululemon's website. So if you want to get a video version in a short clip, I will also be doing these Lululemon spotlights in 60 seconds or less, and that will be on my TikTok as well. There's now a playlist, so you can find it, Lululemon Spotlights, and of course it's inspired by this segment that we do here on this podcast. But for today, I can go into more detail than just 60 seconds. So this is the YouTube or podcast version of Lululemon Spotlight, the original from here, from us. Today's spotlight. I would like to spotlight, I don't mean to put Ryan on the spot here, but I'm going to spotlight the Metal Vent Tech t-shirt because the men don't get enough love here. I know Lululemon was primarily or initially a female-focused company, and then they expanded to men. This is probably Ryan's favorite shirt from Lululemon.
Yeah, the same way that
Is it your favorite shirt ever? Could we go that far?
The same way that you live in your Align tanks, I kind of live in Metal Vent Tech t-shirts. There's two things about the design that I love. One is the silverescent technology, so that
that's the fabric,
is never going to stink. So it's got silver woven into the fabric, so it's not going to stink, even on hot, sweaty summer days, even if I'm not exercising. And then also the shoulder seams are not like a classic t-shirt where the sleeve is completely separate from the body of the shirt. So it does not have a shoulder seam that hits you directly at the seam, which means that the shirt, even if you might be between sizes, that might mean that the shoulder seam hits you sort of low on the shoulder and it looks oversized. So the shirt can be big enough and comfortable enough while still looking like it's nice and fitted.
Absolutely. And I really like the Metal Vent Tech for you, Ryan. It reminds me, of course, in the women's collection of the Swiftly Tech short sleeve. And I think it's just like a really great staple item. So it's, again, like Ryan said, the silverescent technology is silver woven into the fabric. So anti-stink, I think they're pretty comfortable. I have had feedback. Someone said they don't like Swiftly Techs for the women's collection because they're a bit itchy, but I don't know. Ryan's a bit sensitive to fabrics like that. And
no, I find it really smooth and soft and nice against my skin, actually.
Right.
There's also a bunch of fun colors. I love to wear fun colors. There are some fun patterns. The one that I'm wearing right now, sorry to Spotify, is a block floral pattern. This is in the Scream Green color. And I have just ordered one in Charged Indigo. So for those that know Lululemon, those are some very bright colors, and it's fun that they offer them in that.
Absolutely.
Those options.
Yeah, so it's a tight fit, hip length, I believe, and just like a great staple men's shirt. So if you're ever looking for a gift for someone, a man in your life, or a gift for yourself, I think the Metal Vent Tech deserves some love. One more caveat before we start. This is not a sponsored podcast, but if you are listening to this, you can support me here in the form of shopping with my link. So when you shop with the link in the description here or in my bio on TikTok, any of my link tree, if it's a link to Lululemon, it helps to support me here in the form of a small commission with every purchase. Thank you so much to everyone who uses this link. I know you're using the link and I really appreciate it. It helps Ryan and I afford the time to be able to make a podcast like this, to be able to make content, to be able to spend our days helping to educate, inspire, doing all of those things with social media content. So thank you so much. Don't forget to use my link. Without further ado, Lululemon. What is Lululemon? Why do people care so much? Why is it viral on TikTok? What's going on and how do I get into it? Lululemon is an athleisure wear company started with yoga pants primarily that started in 1998 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It started in 1998, but it didn't open a physical store until 2000. So it really wasn't around for too long before I tried it for the first time. My first purchase at Lululemon was in 2006 at the downtown Oakville, Ontario store. That was the closest one. I grew up in Burlington. And I started shopping there because when I was dancing in a studio, we were asked to all go to Lululemon and find this, I guess we called it at the time a capri pant, but it was a crop legging. And it kind of flared out at the bottom. And I remember that it had two sides to it. It was reversible. So we were asked by our dance studio to purchase this as our costume. And then they gave us a top, and it was for a recital. And I also think on my first trip there, I got the original, or at least at the time, scuba hoodie in black. And I still have that one to this day, which is very cool. But Lululemon started in Canada, started Vancouver, and it's grown. I've got some statistics here I wrote down, so I'm gonna share that with you here. As of January 2022, Lululemon has 29,000 employees. And as of December 2021, Lululemon has 574 retail stores globally. It's a publicly traded company now, and I think that it's really changed the athleisure wear scene. Like, I think that it was at the forefront of making yoga pants popular. So it doesn't shock me that it's gone viral on TikTok because I really think that they're leaders in this industry. What do you think, Ryan? The impact of Lululemon on the world, how it's gone from being this Canadian company, but now it's become so popular in the US and globally.
I think Lululemon throughout their history have had sort of an image issue, or they've had to kind of craft what the image is. And I think they're doing a great job in the time that we have been really focusing on it, like in the last year in particular, and even since you worked for the second time in 2019. To be really technically focused, because for so long it has been sort of a joke of like people wear Lululemon when they're not really going to be exercising.
Yes.
But I don't think of that as a bad thing, because people wear Nike shoes all day, every day, even if they're not actively playing basketball.
Yeah, just walking around, going on hot girl walks, going to the mall.
So I think they've done a good job of creating like technical reasons for a lot of their items recently. And that sort of builds up the brand of what it means to wear Lululemon. They've also done a great job of adding in men's things. So they've done promotions in the past, and now they're offering a lot more items for men to wear Lululemon as well.
Absolutely. And I think you really hit the nail on the head there, Ryan, because I forgot to mention Lululemon is now the official outfitter for Team Canada. That is very recent, just these past Olympic Games, and for the next three?
The three more, yeah.
Yeah, for the next 3 Olympic Games, Lululemon is the official outfitter. And this is something that previously was held by, was it Hudson's Bay Company?
Yep.
Which has a huge history as an outfitter in Canada.
And before that, it was Roots, I believe.
Right. So the fact that Lululemon is now on the same sort of playing field as that Team Canada was interested in their clothing, says so much about the company and how it's changed over the years, how it's adapted from starting as a yoga pant company and turning into an athletic wear company. They just recently came out with a hiking collection, which was very technical. So I find that if you think you know what Lululemon is, depending on the year that you started shopping there, your opinion has probably changed. Yes, it's still a clothing company that sells stretchy pants, but I feel like it's so much more than what it just started as. It's really grown. It has changed leadership over the years, and I'm not really going to get into that because there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of issue with sort of the leadership, and there was the moment in time where there were sheer pants and all of that going on. I think that the company has changed so much, and has always taken a step in the right direction. When things go wrong, they make a change and they switch it up. So I'm really excited that in 2020, they have added extended sizing. I think they could continue to grow and continue to add more sizing and be more accommodating. It would be really great to see more items that are friendly for different body types, and not just for extended sizing. I mean, all body types, petite, everything. And just having like an athletic body in mind, especially if they're going to be creating outfits for athletes. Athletes are built differently for different sports. And I think it would be really interesting to see more than just their standard cookie cutter sizing. Something about Lululemon to me, as well as a company, is I find them unique in their marketing strategy. And I know I say this ironically as we are here and I do Lululemon influencing. And of course, I'm telling you to shop with my link. So I know I'm a part of this marketing strategy. But you don't see Lululemon as much on television. I will say that I just saw for the first time a Lululemon advertisement on television, and it was to introduce everyone to the Blissfield running shoe. So this is a new venture Lululemon is taking. So it doesn't surprise me that they're maybe trying something new with a television ad, but Lululemon now is for your feet. And that is something really cool that Lululemon is getting into the footwear game. What do you think of that, Ryan?
I'm looking forward to when they also come out with them for men. But this is following the same trajectory as the company in general, that it was yoga
Women
pants
first.
for women. And yeah, but I'm, through you, very impressed with those shoes. You have had no complaints about wearing them. You choose to wear them at every possible opportunity. It's a very impressive first effort.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see where they go with it.
Yeah, they keep not leaking, but putting out other product images of like different leggings, and they're then wearing a color of Blissfield running shoes that are not available yet. So you can just see that they're working on expanding that line. And
right.
in addition,
the color offerings, the colorways.
In addition to having the new ones that are coming in the fall as well.
Right. The strong feel are coming.
Yeah, but they're not like moving beyond their first pair. They're still adding those colors, which is great.
Right. Which is so funny to me too, because they clearly have all of this photography of their models wearing the clothing from, previous months. And as they slowly are releasing the items, like, they are giving secret previews of all of these items, because, as I'm going to get into, there are a lot of people now on the internet who are very closely watching every screenshot, every photo that Lululemon posts. And it's almost like an Easter egg hunt to find what's the new pre-released item. Whereas when I first started shopping at Lululemon, of course, the internet wasn't even a huge thing. So for me, I just loved going in store. It was all about the in-store experience. And I think that's another thing I was saying about marketing that has really changed for Lululemon. And again, this is all my personal opinion. I don't speak on behalf of the company. Let that be known. But this is just my observation that in the beginning, marketing for Lululemon was very much word of mouth and community. So I remember being a part of the R&D community program, which was research and development. And it is a program for fitness professionals and the like. And for me as a bar instructor, that's why I joined it. And it's a discount offer. So this was to get people to wear the clothes, live in the clothes. And if you are, for example, like me, an instructor, fitness instructor, if someone wants to ask you, hey, like, what are your favorite leggings? If they're trying a lot of Lululemon items, because you're giving this incentive to the community of fitness professionals to try on the clothes, wear them, live in them, I think that the product is just so stand out compared to other brands that I am always happy to give a recommendation. And that was long before I was on the internet talking about Lululemon. I would in person give my recommendation to people that were coming to my classes, my clients. So I think that Lululemon has changed over the years. It was very community-based. They still have this community program. It's now called Sweat Collective. However, Ryan and I just checked on the website and it says they're pausing Sweat Collective membership applications. So TBD. I don't know what's going on there. And again, I don't technically work for the company. I'm an affiliate. I am part of their Lululemon Collective, which is different than Sweat Collective. And that gets so confusing, but I will continue to explain this in just a moment. I think that Lululemon is a really standout company for doing things in the community. I think that they are really great at involving people in person, especially with this pandemic. It's been noticeable that in-person events are not back to where they were. But in the past, Lululemon has had a 10K run that has been very popular. Seawees, was it a 10K or it's turning into a 10K now? Oh, it was a half marathon. So Seawees was a half marathon, and now they're changing it to just the 10K.
In Houston and Atlanta, which they have sort of merch for on the site right now for different cities.
Right. Oh my goodness. Which is very, very cool. But that's an example of how I think Lululemon has been really great at involving people in person. They really love people coming into the store, getting to know the educators on the floor, the staff. And they used to have free yoga on Sundays. Yoga teachers from the community would teach a free class on Sunday mornings before the store would open. They would move all of the clothing out of the way and you would practice in the middle of the store, which is so great and so wonderful to have this sort of free offering to entice people to come in and be a part of this community. So I don't believe those are back up and running. And I don't know if that sort of kind of activity is going to change now. Like I said, with it being 2022 and things being questionable about how in-person events are going to happen. I'm not sure where that's going, but it is something I've enjoyed in the past, being able to go in person to a store and just have free yoga. Also, with that, many Lululemon stores that are very exciting to go to are these experiential stores. So a Lululemon experiential store is a store that has a studio space. So for me, I went to the newer building of the Queen West in Toronto, Lululemon store, and they have the attic space. So there's actual studio space upstairs. It's gorgeous. There's exposed brick, wonderful studio space where they would hold classes. Now, depending on which store you are going to, I know there's a really big store in Chicago that has a full studio space with locker rooms, showers, a smoothie bar. It looks amazing. And it's a whole experience. So I would love to see more Lululemons going back to their roots, because I believe the first Lululemon, like we said, it started in 1998, but they didn't even have a standalone store until 2000. So I think that it was more sort of like a pop-up situation, and they were always community-based, always relating back to yoga and activity.
So I don't know what it's like in other cities, but I just looked up the Queen Street that has the attic space.
Yes.
But they are not running classes right now. They just run a run crew.
Yes.
So I guess it's like you start your run and run as a group.
Yes, that is something that they always provided as well, like a run club.
So that's a great outdoor activity that they have.
Absolutely.
But then at the Soho location that also has a sort of a workout space. I don't know if they call it the attic as well. But they have a weekly, looks like a yoga class that they run.
Oh, very exciting. I do believe that there was a series from someone I know, actually, a Lululemon ambassador for the Queen Street location, that she was running a series, but I don't know if it's a part of Lululemon's offerings or if it's sort of just affiliated with it. But still very exciting. And I have seen things starting to happen again. So all that is to say, Lululemon has changed so much over the years, but I still think that they stand by community, whether it's online or whether it is in person, physically taking class together. It's pretty great. So let's talk a little bit about Lululemon on TikTok. I started posting videos about Lululemon in 2021, in about April 2021. Before that, I was posting as a fitness instructor. I was also posting as a dog mom on our dog's account. But I did my first video about Lululemon because I thought, you know what? I'm a fitness instructor. I'm trying to share positivity tips, showing my body in this space when it's not sort of the typical body you would see as a leader in fitness because of societal standards. And my first video went viral, and the next one, same thing. Another one, also very popular video. So I just kept going with that until I realized I had so many people interested in learning more about Lululemon from a former Lululemon educator. I used to work there. And I also started offering free classes because we reached the goal of 1,000 followers on TikTok, which means that you can go live. So I started giving free live classes at the height of lockdown in our area. And it was just such a fun way to connect with people. So for me personally, I feel like my love of Lululemon plus my love of fitness and building a community all came together with this account, JK McKay, Lululemon, TikTok. But I'm not the only one who's doing Lululemon on TikTok. I'll ask Ryan, as someone who is not primarily focused on Lululemon on social media, how has your perception been of Lululemon on the internet?
There's definitely a great community around this. And I say that because there's so many people that come and comment on your videos that I see that also are dedicated to coming to your live streams and also are very aware of what is happening day to day with Lululemon. So you will get notifications like comments on your videos or texts from people about something that has restocked because they know that you want to know that.
Yes.
And then the other thing that has been so great is, like you say, there's so many people doing this, and whether it's from just posting screenshots, just posting your outfit, or doing full in-depth reviews or hauls or YouTube videos, there is a whole range of people involved in this as creators, and y'all help each other out. It's great.
Yeah. I think as well that there have previously existed communities online for Lululemon lovers that have just kind of found a place on TikTok. So this is part of the conversation that we're going to get into about what is Lululemon for newbies and how do you get into it. But I'm going to take a moment here to talk about different areas online that you can find Lululemon even besides TikTok. So when I first started posting these videos and finding other people who loved Lululemon, some of them are also educators, so employees, retail employees at Lululemon, and they would talk about different places on the internet to find Lululemon as well. So I didn't hear about it until I started my TikTok account, but there is a Lululemon subreddit. Now, just a disclaimer, I don't say that everything that goes on Lululemon subreddit is something to take firsthand. A lot of it is, again, public opinion. It's a forum, and people are all writing their opinions about things that are happening. So just be wary when you're reading in there. Sometimes there's not so positive messages, and sometimes, just like a review section on a website, there will be sort of an unfiltered space for negativity to build on top of negativity. So as much as I enjoy going to the subreddit for Lululemon, it is unofficial. It's a subreddit. It is not something from the company. And I would just say take some things with a grain of salt and, take what you like, leave what you don't. So the Lululemon subreddit will make posts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And they have like a day, every day a week where there's something new. I think there's like a rant thread that happens on Sundays. I'm probably saying that wrong. Again, I'm on there watching, but I don't really post there. And I don't know everything that goes on the Lululemon subreddit. But definitely if you're looking for more information and you want to find a community that is also talking about Lululemon, check it out. Another community online that is talking about Lululemon is a website called Lulu Fanatics. Now, Lulu Fanatics, again, not an official website, but it's kind of like an archive for Lululemon products that are not currently available. So they don't go all the way back to its inception. I think they go back to about 2010. But you can research items from Lululemon on Lulu Fanatics that are organized by color, by style. I was trying to find my vintage Lululemon tank and I could not find it for the life of me, but it kept looking like crisscross back Lululemon tank. But I knew it was hot pink. I knew the color I had, but I didn't know the exact color name. I didn't know the exact item name. And I felt so discouraged finding it anywhere online. Now, TikTok pulled through and we found one and I ended up purchasing a, I think, barely worn tank. So it's called the Tutu tank. At least that's what we gathered. And I don't know the exact color, but I was excited to find this online. And while Lulu Fanatics did not have the answer for me, if you're looking for something from 2010 onward, you might have luck at finding the name of it on Lulu Fanatics. So there's Lululemon subreddit, Lulu Fanatics, TikTok. I feel like there's a big community for Lululemon as well on YouTube, but it's more in the unboxing space and review space. So I find that sometimes there's vloggers that enjoy Lululemon and they will add it into their content, or it's content based on unboxings. So there are a lot of people here as well that will talk about it. But I don't know if there are a few like starting up Lululemon focused accounts, but I don't know. I think the TikTok is really exploding. And maybe because it's easier to access. It's much easier to upload a video faster on TikTok. What do you think of that, Ryan?
Yeah, for people that are looking for the information about these items, the reviews on YouTube are definitely helpful.
They go more in depth too, right? Because you can go for a longer period of time.
And it's fun to see the different items that people get, right? Like adding to their collection in a haul. But then, like you're saying, it's easier to start a TikTok account because how do I put this? The viewers are coming with more information. So you need to post less for your audience to get enough value out of it. I feel like that is why it works well on TikTok.
Yes. But there's also new people joining every day. So I'm going to give a little lowdown on how to get into Lululemon on TikTok. So these are unofficial, but Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will notice that Lululemon's website, usually like maybe 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I've seen things as early as 2:07. There will be new releases from Lululemon, and that means new colors in certain styles that are already on the website. That will also mean brand new items, so new designs, new styles, whether it's a seasonal item, whether it's a brand new design. For example, they just launched their shoes this year. Those dropped on a Tuesday. It usually happens around 2 p.m. And for me personally, I have been going live on TikTok every Tuesday for almost a year. I think about a year.
It was last summer for sure that you started it.
Yes.
Because we were doing them before we moved to our apartment in Toronto.
Yes. And we transitioned because I was teaching live classes every Friday at 10 a.m. And then I kept asking, like, what more do you want? What other offerings could I bring to this community? And I got a lot of requests to talk more about Lululemon. So I thought, okay, I'll just go live on TikTok and talk about Lululemon. Well, what better of a time to go live than when the new releases are dropping? So 2 p.m. Tuesdays, I will go live. Another question that people have is, what time does it drop if I'm in a different time zone? The answer is the same time. So if you are in a different time zone than mine, Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be just wherever you are on the clock. So it's exactly at the same time. And if you don't know how to change time zones, honestly, I Google it. I go, if it's 2 p.m. in Ontario, Canada, what time is it in Vancouver? Or, what time is it in PST? What time is it in MST? And that's just a frequently asked question I get, and I don't want anyone to feel excluded or confused. So just Google it.
And I think maybe some of the confusion comes because it sometimes drops later in Canada.
Oh, yes. If you are in Canada, it will drop a little later. Something else to consider as well, if you are someone who's wanting to keep up with these updates, the items usually drop first, that they're first able to be viewed on the website instead of the app. So I'm not saying don't use the app at all, because I do use the app a lot. And the app has a really easily accessible profile. You can check your orders. There's lots of really great, amazing things about the app. The only issue for me personally is that the website usually is updated faster. So if you want to do that, check the website first. Another hot tip is this method people have called edit in cart. So sometimes an item will drop, and sometimes you see it on the main screen of what's new, sorted by new releases. You click it, but then it directs you to the page, and that photo is not available. It is an older color that was there last week or previous weeks, and the item disappears. This usually means that the item is slowly getting added to the website, but there's a solution. If you click a color that is already there and you add it to your cart, it then goes to your cart. Proceed to purchase that item, but instead of clicking go, there is a moment where you will see edit when on that specific item. Click edit, and then more colors will appear. You can click a new color that you see, update the item, and bam, it's in your shopping bag. It is there in the new color that you were unable to click previously.
However, that is not available on the app.
Right. So this is why I'm saying you must go to the website if you want the absolute to the second availability and ability to edit in cart. So I hope that explanation made sense. I have a great TikTok about this, so we can link that here so you can view that TikTok. It is also in my playlists on TikTok. I have one playlist called Edit in Cart, and it's just that one video where I explain it. But this is a very common question that I get, especially when I'm live. I try and show it, and I try and include anyone who is new, who's never done this before. But I'm just trying to explain it right now so that you have an idea when I say, oh, try the edit in cart trick. That's what we're talking about. And these are all just tips and tricks that I have learned not as a former employee. I was not really involved in shopping online at Lululemon until after I worked at the store. So this whole Lululemon community online has just come up out of being online and not really me working for Lululemon. So I've just learned from the community that we have here, and people have taught me. Another important day, if you're new to Lululemon, you want to get into it on TikTok, you want to be a part of this community, Thursday mornings, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will also find me live on TikTok because this is We Made Too Much Thursday. So this is just what we call it. New Release Tuesday. We Made Too Much Thursday. And that's because We Made Too Much is the markdown section of Lululemon. So if you're wondering what that is, markdown, it means discounted. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the product. It just means that it's usually a style or a color that is going to be leaving the website. So We Made Too Much, think more along the lines of clearance as opposed to anything damaged or wrong with a product. And it's great stuff. I honestly love so many items from We Made Too Much. And that's a lot of what I purchase as well. Personally, I do love shopping on Thursdays.
And if you don't feel like you want to wake up at 7 a.m. EST, which would be 4 a.m. PST, you would not be alone. I can tell you from looking at our statistics that people are shopping throughout the day. So
absolutely,
when we send the text to people at 7 a.m., not everyone is shopping right at 7 a.m. Only the people that are really trying to make sure that their that their thing is not going to sell out. But if you are if there's not something specific that you're looking for, you can show up like kind of any time in the morning, maybe even in the afternoon, and find something that that you will like that is on We Made Too Much.
So this is my warning. That's great advice. And I love that everyone is shopping at all times of day. Maybe they're shopping on Fridays. Maybe they're shopping on Saturdays. But I will say that waking up early does have its perks. So if you wake up for the live drop and you want to come to my TikTok lives, the benefit is so many of the items that drop first thing on the website for We Made Too Much, so many of them sell out extremely quickly. And I'm not trying to build the hype over this. I'm not trying to make this a rat race. I'm not trying to make it anything but what it is. I can't change the website and how that they run the things and how it's, going so quickly. But all we can do is observe and, react accordingly. So when it goes up on the website, there are certain items that never go to We Made Too Much in your size. So depending on what size you are, some items will only appear on We Made Too Much in a certain size range. A common question I get is, will those sizes restock and I'll be able to purchase this later in time? And the answer is sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes an item has not been restocked and it will then leave the website and never come back. Or sometimes there's a restock. For example, the Align pant white cheetah camo, that was not originally in every size available, I believe, on We Made Too Much Thursday. But I think a few days later, it was restocked. Or maybe a week later, it was restocked. And we never know when restocks are going to happen. So that is the biggest thing. People ask me, what's a restock? A restock is when there is an item on the website and you see it, but you can see maybe your size is it an X through it, or it's like grayed out?
Yeah, it's crossed out. Yeah. It's grayed out.
So it's grayed out and it's crossed out. That means that that's not available. It's sold out. But randomly at any time, it might restock. And I know that's frustrating because people ask me, when does it restock? There is no rhyme or reason. They really keep you guessing. And depending on the item, it might never restock. It might go to We Made Too Much and then it might be gone. So this is why I stress that Thursday mornings, being there right at 7 a.m. to look at the website and, of course, attending my lives, it really does help you to get to know which item is up first because we talk about it right away. And there are certain items guaranteed won't show up necessarily in every size, and they will sell out immediately. So those items that are most popular, I would say, are scuba hoodies right now. Of course, this might change. This is August 2022. Who knows? Maybe something's going to go on markdown and it's going to be the new hot item. But scuba hoodies are very popular. They're a big ticket item. And I think that when they go on markdown, people get really excited. And this is something that definitely disappears pretty quickly. I think Swiftly texts are also something that kind of go quickly sometimes because I find often they go to We Made Too Much and not in every size. So when they're gone, they're gone. Same thing with Hottie Hot shorts. They're very popular. I find that if they go to markdown, they're often gone quickly too. Who knows? Maybe those Swiftly texts and Hottie Hot shorts will restock. But there's a good chance that when it's gone, it's gone. So again, not to instill fear in you, but waking up in the morning has its perks. That's all I'm saying. Also, when I was an employee, I got this question a lot. And now that I do influencing, I continue to get this question. Will my favorite staple item, for example, the Align pant in black, go on markdown? When's that going on markdown? So if you're new to Lululemon, any item that is a staple item and a staple color, these colors are usually more neutral, like black, white, true navy. Those colors don't go to markdown potentially ever if the item is a staple item. So for example, the Align pant, I think it's Lululemon's favorite pant of the people. Most popular pant, as well as the Wonder Train. I think that one's really come up out of out of nowhere. But no, the Wonder Train has sort of risen to popularity as opposed to the old Wonder Under that has now been sunset. That means discontinued. It's now on its way out, the Wonder Under. So the Wonder Train has risen to popularity as well. You're not going to find a Wonder Train in black on markdown, and then magically next week it's back full price. So the items that go to We Made Too Much are colors that are seasonal, which most colors are seasonal and they rotate unless they're the core staple colors, like we said, neutrals. And patterns. So when you see something in a cool, funky pattern and you think, oh my God, I love that pattern. You know what? I think I might wait until it goes to We Made Too Much. There's a strong chance that could happen. But there's also the chance that that cool, funky pattern is not available in your size when it goes to We Made Too Much, and then you're out of luck. So again, if you are so in love with something and you don't mind paying full price, that is the best chance you have to getting an item before it sells out. There are also some items that you'll probably never see on markdown because they're just so popular. For example, the Everywhere belt bag. That one has been selling out and people can't even get a hold of it full price. So sometimes there are items that get so popular they sell out on the first day that they're new on Tuesdays. Sometimes it's just sizes. Sometimes it's all together. For example, in the past, we've seen scuba hoodies sell out on the first day. We, in the past, long time ago, have seen Align tanks sell out. The first time that the Sonic Pink Align tank dropped, it was sold out in most sizes in the US on the first day. I think nowadays the Align tank is available in so many colors that it doesn't really sell out on the first day. And maybe that's a supply thing that Lululemon has figured out. People need Align tanks, so they have enough in stock. But at the moment, I find scuba hoodies are something that are starting to be more stocked. They still go out of stock, but I think as well, there are more supply these days. Oh, there's some smaller items as well, like the Never Lost keychain, the dual pouch wristlet. Those go first day often and don't make it to markdown. I love Lululemon so much that I could talk about it for hours and it killed our camera battery. So we have transitioned to part 2 of this episode. We were just discussing the days of the week that Lululemon updates their website. And Ryan reminded me here that this episode is about Lululemon on TikTok and Lululemon for newbies. However, I should have specified that this is really about Lululemon on TikTok and people who are new to Lululemon on TikTok and Lululemon on the internet, and this sort of phenomenon that is Lululemon on the internet. So if you're listening to this and it's your first time wanting to get into Lululemon and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how on earth did I get here? We've gone down the rabbit hole. There's way too many things to absorb. I just want to let you know that it's okay. You can still be a part of this community if you don't know all of the colors, if you don't know all of the items, if you don't know what a double-lined Align pant is and why people are, trying to alter their clothes because they don't like them. I'm here to tell you that there is so much to learn about Lululemon, and I don't want you to be nervous about it. It's a clothing company. They sell stretchy pants, they sell athletic wear, and we like to go live on the internet when they do updates. And this is something I wanted to say as well. So just to recap, Tuesdays are usually when new releases happen at Lululemon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live on TikTok. I also have a text list. I send out text messages to everyone on Tuesdays. However, lately we've been having issues and they don't send immediately. But hopefully by the time this episode is out there, that's resolved. We also have been sending email newsletters. So for anyone who wants to stay up to date, you can join my email newsletter as well. These are all free for you, but I will say as a member of the Lululemon Collective, I do get a commission when you shop with my link. And I really appreciate that. That helps me to continue to do this content. Thursdays are We Made Too Much Thursday. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, same thing. I go live, I send a text. We have been sending emails as well, and we will update those lists if anything changes about those services. Another thing about my text list, you can text me asking for a restock request. So if you have an item and like I described before, it's been out of stock in your size, in the color that you like, you can request for me to keep an eye on it. I don't have any special magic methods of how to find these restocks. So I just try my best. And when I see it, I will text you and you can shop that item as long as it's still available. Tuesdays, new releases. Thursdays, we made too much. These are not officially from Lululemon. This is just habitually what we have observed over the last year of creating content surrounding Lululemon. So there have been days before, for example, your birthday. I think your birthday last year, there was a surprise drop early on a Monday. Sometimes around the holiday season as well, I find maybe it's because there are holidays, they will release something early. And for the first time, we saw a scuba hoodie, the Heathercore Ultralight Gray full zip. We saw that drop randomly, not on a drop day, and just that item. So all this is to say, if you're super interested in Lululemon and you really want to get into it, follow me on TikTok at JKMcKay. That's where the most recent updates will be. And you'll start to learn as you scroll through the FYP what's going on with Lululemon. Another thing about Lululemon that you might not know, they have these community programs, Sweat Collective, and there are other community programs as well if you're a healthcare worker, first responder, and definitely something to look into. If you're in store, you could probably ask an educator about it. Just check the website. It is military and first responders. It's 15% off. And again, look that up on the website on how to be a part of that community program. So this was all about Lululemon TikTok, how to get into Lululemon on TikTok. I have some extra tips here if you're brand new to Lululemon and you want to know, why is it so special? I think that the clothing is very technical. And one of the things that has been going viral on TikTok is the Lululemon tags. So people are collecting these like baseball cards. That's what I said at the beginning. I'm in that Vice article, and then I got featured on CHCH News, and people are collecting the tags. But why? For me personally, it has so much information about the item. It will tell you the features of it, what kind of fabrics Lululemon has. They have their own fabrics that they create with different percentages of different materials. So Nulu fabric is something you find in the Align pant, and it's made for yoga, and it's super buttery soft. It's so popular. So when you see something saying Nulu, you can bet it's going to feel the same across all different products. So that's why the tags are super important, and why I think Lululemon stands out against the other companies that might offer similar items, or the dupes. Their fabrics, everything can be sort of cross-referenced among different items. So if it says Nulu fabric, you know it's going to feel the same over different items like the Align tank, the Align pant, the Nulu shelf strappy tank that came out. It's probably gone by now. But there are lots of other items that are specific to different fabrics. For example, Nulux fabric. I'm wearing it right now in the base pace short. It is super slick and great for running. So this is another thing about Lululemon. They all have a suggested activity. And some of the activity, it says on the move. What does on the move mean? To and from a workout, wearing casually at home. Maybe on the move is working from home, and it's business attire. Other activities include yoga, low impact activity, running, workouts, training. So all the different fabrics, you might hear Nulu, Luon, Luxtreme, Everlux, Nulux.
And for the men, they have been doing a lot with fabrics in the pants, where they'll have the same type of item in different fabrics. So they have the ABC pant in Warp Stream, which is like a really like kind of stretchy, smooth, but durable fabric. And then also in the Utilitech fabric, which is more like a
kind of feels like jeans material almost.
Yeah, like
denim.
Even more structured and like less smooth. They then also have Vent Light material in the ABC joggers, which is what the button-up, short-sleeve, Earring Easy shirt is. So it's going to be a nice breezy kind of feel. So they have the same item in different fabrics, and that can change what the item is made for.
Right. And Swift fabric is another one as well that's in a lot of the men's collection, but there's also Swift fabric in something like the Court Rival skirt. But some items have two different fabrics used. They will say that the waistband is Luxstream, but the body of it is Swift fabric, but then the liner is Luxstream as well. Or the stretch high-rise jogger is stretch Luxstream for the most of the pant, but it has a Nulu band on the inside. So that Nulu fabric you love from the Align pant, extra comfort on the inside of the waistband. It's little things like this that keeping the tag is so important for, because if that item ever leaves the website and it's not on Lulu Fanatics, you will always have a record of that item, of the special features that maybe you've forgotten about. Some of Lululemon's items have features like the ability to pack up a jacket into a belt bag. There is one that packs up into a belt bag, or some of the jackets pack up into themselves to form a pillow, or a lot of the zippered items, I am about to post a TikTok about this, will have the emergency hair tie. On the scuba hoodies, there's an emergency hair tie that if you need a hair elastic, it's there on the zipper. Scuba hoodies, Define jackets, some of the backpacks I think have them as well, or have in the past. And it's things like that that you don't really realize that make it so special, the features, the special secret features and functions of it. So that is one thing about Lululemon that's really cool, and keeping the tags really helps with that. The tags as well will explain if it's high rise, low rise, what inseam it is. Sometimes on the shorts, it's helpful if you want to remember what inseam was. Lots of items come in different lengths. For me, I'm 5'5", and I really like the 25-inch inseam as like a 2-ankle pant. But again, I could wear the 28s. It bunches up it a little bit at the bottom. Or Lululemon has complimentary hemming. So if you ever purchase something at Lululemon, doesn't matter if you've worn it for years, you can go back to Lululemon, ask them to hem it. It's going to depend on the store you go to, what their availability is. Some of them have in-house sewing capabilities, so it might depend on what their availability is. But you can do it. A lot of the items that have special details like mesh or a pocket in the way, you can't get those hemmed. It's not an alteration service, but it is hemming for length. So that's something, if you're new to Lululemon, free or complimentary hemming is something to keep in mind. A very cool offering from Lululemon. Another thing to know about your Lululemon clothing, they have these long tags in the back that you can rip off. They're called rip tags, or at least that's what we've coined it. That's what people have called them for a while. Rip tags. And they have your size on there. So a lot of people hold on to them for a long time in the item and don't rip them out because they want to know what size they're wearing and for reference. Now, don't be afraid. If you rip that tag out and you want to keep it, great. If you don't want to keep it, that's okay. There is also something inside of your Lululemon, if you've purchased it in the last few years, that is a little size dot. It will tell you the size, and then it has numbers around the outside, and that is also helpful for finding out what that item was or is. So that little number around in the size dot, you can put into something like Lulu Fanatics, I believe, and it will show up. But I haven't practiced that, so I'll get back to you on that because I keep my tags. So I'm usually good to go on that. But just because your item does not have a size dot does not mean that it's not Lululemon. It could be that your item is older than when they introduced this new sort of size dot method. Because I have a lot of really old Lululemon. The styles have changed so often. Their special features have changed so often. I have an old Lululemon duffel bag that has like a media pocket that had like a Palm Pilot or a BlackBerry icon. So they've always been on top of adding new features and cool functions to their items. But, you know, nowadays I feel like it's a little more regulated. They've got a streamlined focus of what they want. And if you just have an older item, it might just be that. And it doesn't mean it's not real Lululemon. Speaking of real Lululemon, because it's so popular in this luxury athleisure wear brand, a lot of people have been ripping off the brand, unfortunately, and creating dupes, or some people have been taking dupes and putting on a Lululemon logo on it. And this breaks my heart because you're just trying to like soak up the fame of one brand and company and putting it on something else to dupe people. Like, I don't like that vibe. If you're purchasing an item that is not from Lululemon and you like it because it reminds you of a Lululemon design, of course, you do what you can. I'm not trying to tell you you can only buy Lululemon. For me personally, I like the idea of going with the brand that had that original design. So if something really is a copycat, it feels less original to me. So you know it's not going to have the same fabric, you know it's not going to have the same features, and it's not, you know, going to have the same sort of across the board likeness to Lululemon. There's a certain across the board likeness that the Align tank looks like the Align bodysuit, looks like they all are very similar to each other if it's designed for that. But if it's a dupe, then I find that it's overall, it's not that the whole brand is just a copycat of Lululemon. They've just handpicked the items. So again, I just feel like it's a bit of a copycat thing and it's not going to be as good quality in my opinion. So the dupes are just not for me. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. This was a lot. I think Ryan is overwhelmed by all of this Lululemon. He already hears about it every day. And now that I've said I'm going to explain what Lululemon is in one succinct YouTube episode, I think he's ready for a nap. So have you learned anything today, Ryan? Or is this all the stuff you knew?
I think it's all the things that I know. But yeah, you're right. It's overwhelming to be in one section or one piece of content.
Yes.
One podcast episode.
I'm sure there's stuff I've left out too. But I did have notes prepared and we didn't take any questions on this one. So this was, you know, our first attempt at trying to capture what is Lululemon, why is it so viral, what's Lululemon on TikTok, and what is this online community. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to shop with my link at Lululemon. And round of applause for Ryan for being my amazing editor. If you watch any of my content here on YouTube, Ryan is the one behind all of these edits. So we can give him a little shout out in the comments if you made it this far. Thank you so much, friends.